Hey everyone, it's Marianna. Or is it Marianne? Let's be real, part of the reason I watched this Netflix series was because it is almost my name, but mainly it's because I was in need of a good spooky series as we're getting so close to Halloween, and Marianne was exactly what I was looking for. So let's talk about it. The series is about a horror author, Emma, who made her career by writing novels about a witch, Marianne, the soul-possessing evil entity Emma used to dream about as a teenager. Turns out, Marianne might be more than just a product of Emma's imagination, so Emma has to come back to her hometown to face the demons of her past. I'm just going to tell you right away, this series is likely to give you nightmares. So if you're somebody who is easily affected by horror, particularly supernatural horror, or just disturbing imagery in general, I would not recommend watching this at night. One of the fun things about this series is that Marianne switches up the horror as it goes along. While the general feel is somewhere between possession and witchcraft lore, Marianne likes to mix things up so our nightmares have a variety of options. She's a nice lady like that. You have some dirty, gross stuff that's just going to make you cringe and want to take a shower. You have some good old evil spirit action. You have some weird and creepy behavior. You have spooky folklore. You have possession horror, and even a little bit of body horror. Basically, I'm just going to go ahead and say that Marianne is the thing to watch this October if you're looking to get into that Halloween spirit. Not to mention, this series does not lack in the small town creepy atmosphere department either. There are a few classic horror stories this reminded me of, but I particularly got some Stephen King's It vibes from the story. Old friends coming together as adults to face an old evil in their small town as we slowly discover their relationships, their past, and their personalities. Sounds pretty familiar, doesn't it? So I was not at all surprised to see Stephen King himself praise this show on Twitter. Don't worry though, this is not a ripoff, and Marianne does plenty to separate itself from its influences as it combines classic horror with witchcraft folklore and modern characters. Speaking of characters, I loved Emma as the lead, and I really hope to see Victoire Du Bois, the actress who played her, on my screen again very soon. See, the thing is, Emma is the type of character I enjoy watching because she feels like a real person. She's flawed, she's not always likable, but she's also down to earth, loyal, and generally has good intentions. Sometimes Emma is cool, sometimes she's annoying, sometimes she does the right thing, and other times the wrong thing. She can be selfish, she can make mistakes, she can give you secondhand embarrassment, but she can also be brave and try to do better and admit she was wrong. Plus, she has a cool haircut. Now, when it comes to the writing of the plot itself, it's a bit of a hit or miss, and it's going to depend on how forgiving are you willing to be of the pitfalls of the genre. What I liked about it was that there were a lot of twists and turns, and even though you can kind of figure out what the story is building up to, the journey is totally worth it. The beginning of the series and the last few episodes were very strong, but a couple of episodes in the middle slowed things down a little too much. Also, I have to warn you about the shifting tone of the whole thing. It worked for me, but I can see how it can be a bit jarring for some people. The thing is, the story actually cares about the characters as people and not just about them being scared of the villain. So that means you occasionally get flashbacks and humorous back and forth scenes between friends that just have to do with their relationships and everyday lives. Do those feel a little bit different in tone? Yeah, they do, but I actually liked that those scenes were included. What I wasn't a big fan of were the times when the characters just did things or didn't do things because that needed to happen for the plot to advance. I can't tell you the specifics because of the spoilers, but there were times when I was sitting there thinking, well, why didn't you try this before? Or why did you think this would be a good idea to begin with? And the only reasonable explanation is because we need this to happen for the plot to advance and for certain things to happen later. But to someone who's watching, those are just plot conveniences without a logical explanation. Now, I have to talk about the visuals because they are a huge part of the atmosphere here, and I generally really enjoyed the look of the series overall. You know how some horror films and series can look kind of really gloomy or sickly or just generally desaturated? Not here. Marianne has a beautiful palette with vivid colors, a lot of the scenes having stunning warm lighting, and really bringing out the reds every time they're part of the shot. There are some darker scenes as well, with things lurking in the background. This is supernatural horror after all, but I was always able to tell what was going on, and nothing felt like the setup for a cheap scare. My only nitpick with the visuals is that there were a few instances of hilarious demonic face that was way over the top. I am talking bulging eyeballs, the tongue sticking out, that kind of stuff. Those moments kind of took me out of the story because I just could not help laughing. But overall, the look and the mood of the show were excellent, and I generally would love to see more of this scary approach to witchcraft instead of the fun or romanticized approach we see more often. So yeah, as I already mentioned, I think Marianne is a great choice if you're looking for something spooky to watch around Halloween. It is in French, and I do recommend the subtitles over the English dub because I did listen to a little bit of the English just out of curiosity, and it's not terrible, it's not really bad, but the original delivery of the actors it's different, and I think it's a lot better. I'm going to give Marianne a solid 8 out of 10, and I am really hoping that it's going to get renewed for season 2 because that epilogue definitely leaves you with a bit of a now what feeling. It's not really a cliffhanger because the story does get wrapped up. However, it's definitely a hook into the second season. And yes, I am switching to a 10-point rating system. I asked you guys on Twitter and on YouTube. I'm sure at least some of you have seen it because I got plenty of responses. Which do you prefer? A 5-point system or a 10-point system? And the majority of you said 10-point system, so here you go. That's it for this review. Thank you guys so much for watching. As always, let me know if you watched Marianne already on Netflix, if you're planning to, if you've heard about it, if you're scared of it. Let me know what you think in the comments below. And also, as always, leave me some recommendations. I would love to hear what you think the scariest horror miniseries is out there right now that I could stream somewhere because, you know, why not? I would like some more. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up, share it, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and I hope you're having an awesome day. I will see you very soon in my next one. Bye!